Good evening and welcome. This is a meeting of the Special Education Advisory Committee of the Halton District School Board for Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. First, we will start with a roll call to record who is in attendance. Vice Chair Katie, would you like to take that over or should I do that?
Absolutely. Yep, I can do it. All right. So please voice it because I can't look at the attendance roll call and see you at the same time. So Kate Lambacker, Association for Bright Children.
Present.
Amanda Winch, Autism Ontario. Jennifer Laguerre, Autism Ontario.
Present.
Yelena King, Center for Diverse Learners. I'm sorry if I mispronounced this. Dialini Mathai, Community Living Burlington.
Present.
Melissa Dockery. Sophia Siddiqui, Halton Down Syndrome Association. Aaron Sproul sends his regrets. Kaisa Klassen.
Present.
Katie Schleifer, myself present. Tara Connolly.
Present.
Trustee Ahmed. Trustee Baxter.
Good evening, everyone.
Trustee Oliver. Trustee Zhang.
Present.
Superintendent Ruddock.
Good evening.
Principal Spruin.
Good evening.
Vice Principal Sove. I'm so sorry if I've mispronounced that.
Good evening. You said it right.
Super. IPL Candlish.
Present.
And then I believe we have Summer Sweetman from Communications.
Okay, welcome everyone. We will begin our meeting this evening by honoring the land. We begin by acknowledging the land and our responsibility to care for and respect all that provides us with life. This land upon which the HDSB is situated is on the ancestral treaty and tidal lands of the Anishinaabeg, Ojibwe, Michizagi Nation, now known as the Mississaugas of the Credit. Michizagi territory in the past and present continues to host both Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. The HDSB is committed to continuous knowledge building with respect to actions that address and resolve the ongoing impacts of colonialism. We do this by learning and understanding the true history, treaty obligations, duties and responsibilities, and Indigenous rights while actively maintaining mutually beneficial relationships and collectively respecting and caring for the land. Next, we'll move on to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. Could I have someone to move a motion to approve the agenda, please?
I will.
Thank you. Can someone please second?
Kate Lambacker, I'll second.
Thank you. Are there any modifications or amendments that need to be made to the agenda? Seeing none, I'll ask if there's any opposition to the agenda as it now stands. If you oppose the agenda, please indicate that now. None being seen, the agenda is approved unanimously. Thank you. Next is the approval of our June 4th, 2025 meeting minutes, which were attached to the email with the agenda that you received for this meeting. Are there any errors or omissions? Okay, seeing none. Would anyone like to move a motion to approve the minutes, please?
I can.
Thank you. Can I ask someone to second this motion, please? Thanks so much, Melissa. Is there any opposition to the minutes as recorded? If so, please indicate that now. None being seen, the June 4th, 2025 meeting minutes are approved unanimously. We do not have any action items this evening, so we will move right into our SEAC discussion, input, and question period. We have two presentations this evening, one from our Community Association member at Community Living Burlington, and then one from staff. So we'll go ahead now and start with the presentation from Community Living Burlington. And we'd like to welcome Matai. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
It's Carol. It's actually Dialini.
Oh, I'm
It's
so
had it
sorry.
reversed. It's her
It's
last. Yeah.
reversing. Thank you. Dailini, thank you so much. We're so pleased to have you with us this evening. And please go ahead and you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you, everyone, for letting us come today and share about things that are happening at Community Burlington at this time. I have the slides. I think we shared it with Laura. Sorry, I was just wondering if you would just project it or should I share it?
If you can share your screen, that would be great.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm new to Google Meet. I'm just gonna figure this out in a second. Okay, perfect.
Do you see the little tile at the bottom? Oh, you've got it. Okay, super.
Okay, I got it. Show my, oh, okay, show my screen anyway. Okay. Can you see it? Oh.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm just trying to see how you move here. Sorry. Oh, this is drawing. Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm just gonna stop presenting and then try again one more time. I apologize for that. Does that work? Yes. Okay. So I'm just assuming I go into the PowerPoint window and do it, like move it up and down. Oh, okay, so I won't be able to see you all. Okay, I got it. I apologize. Okay, wonderful. Okay, no problem. If you don't see this slides change, please speak up. I don't see you. Okay, so my name is Diane. I oversee Employment Services Program, placement students from colleges and university, volunteers, and just this month, just taking over responsibility over the new platform at Community Burlington Fee-for-Service called The Hub. So I'll share a whole bunch of things that are happening at our agency and see how we can assist students in your school to access some of these services. So as many of you know, we're celebrating our 70th anniversary this year. So it's a pretty big year, milestone for us. We support over 400 people from children all the way up to seniors in the community who have a developmental disability, as well as we have over 300 staff in the team. So our mission of Community Living Burlington is to enrich the quality of life and to promote full and meaningful inclusion in our community of people who have developmental disabilities. I'm just going to double check the slides are changing.
Yes, it looks great.
Okay, perfect. I can't see anyone. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go through some of the services that we offer. Because we only have a short time, I'm just going to highlight things. And if there's any questions, please feel free to reach back, like through email, and I can share direct contact information for each of the program managers to get more information for eligibility and fees and things like that. So some of the services we offer is majority of our programs is residential. So we have a supported living homes. There's over 30 supported living homes in Burlington, one in Milton and one in Georgetown. We also have supported independent living. This is where over 24 settings where people are living in their own apartments or in their family home, and they're receiving services like part-time services from our support workers to help with groceries and banking and things like that, so they can continue to maintain their independent life. We also have a third option for housing. It's called Life Share. It's a person is matched with a family or an individual in the community who provides support and life skills training. The Life Share program is pretty awesome. It's actually some of the members in that program are at our office, so I can speak a little more to it personally. Is that you're matched with a family, so you get a chance to experience what it's like to live in a family setting. But the really nice part about this program is also you have connection with your natural family as well. So it's kind of like a shared parenting concept with this housing arrangement. So there are a lot of benefits with having people involved in your life, both your natural family and the LifeShare family that is assisting you to help you reach your goals, build independent skills, and have the opportunity to grow and learn away from home. Now, this is probably what you'd be really interested to learn about, and it matters more to the students, is the Next Step Connections program. So we have Sierra Koenig, you already know, she's part of your team, is that we got a 3-year funding from the Halton United Way, Halton Hamilton, so to support students who are in the transitional phase to figure out what their next step would be. So Sierra's, they're working with students 17 years and older, just to and their families to find out post-secondary options for them, if it's CIC program or co-ops, connecting with day programs, or if they need one-on-one support after they graduate, figuring out options in Halton, volunteer opportunities, as well connecting them to employment as well. So she would refer students to our program, Employment Services, or to the 11 other service providers in Halton for employment. So she's been a valuable asset to our agency in terms of like sharing information about programming that's happening at the agency, as well as helping us to meet the graduates and figure out what their needs are as well. So this kind of complements our existing program. Some of the wonderful things that she has implemented in the last year is the food handling certification. Now we partnered with Safe Food, trained Safe Food agency to offer a modified curriculum, so it's accessible for students and people we support to get their certification for food handling, because this is something that is in need if students are looking for jobs later on in the food industry or in a restaurant. Now it's almost like mandated to have the certification. So it was wonderful having Sierra get this curriculum, able to break it down into smaller components to teach over a course of 3 to 4 weeks, and then at the end they do the test to get the certification. So we're kind of excited right now. We have over 21 people who got certified since we started this program in August. Another neat thing that she's been implementing is the cash handling course. We're noticing a lot of retails, they're expecting us to have the cash, able to work the cash register. And that is a huge barrier for a lot of the folks we work with. So we have created this curriculum from scratch for anyone who has basic level of math to help learn how to do returns, how to use a POS system. So we ordered a cash register at one of our sites where they come for the training, and they actually get certifications. So we're actually running our 3rd round of cash handling course next month. So it's really exciting. A lot of the people who are in employment are doing it, and I know Sierra is implementing it at MM Robinson as well. So that's really awesome. Another thing that kind of gave birth after having Sierra over is the Speed Connections. So this is a wonderful way for people to meet, mingle, connect for friendship or relationship or romance or whatever it is. So we've hosted now almost 3 Speed Connections event. So this is held in partnership with the Nostalgia Cafe in Burlington, where people come and they have like 5-minute round sessions to meet new people. But the nice thing about this is also like we do an hour of education on what is safe relationship looks like, and just teaching that principle as well before we start the mingle rounds. So these are all kind of new things that are been happening at CLB through the Connections Coordinator. Now we're going to move on to employment services. This is like a huge thing because we have staff who support over 60 people in the community in paid employment. I know this is some of the goals for some of the students graduating from high school as well. So we have a great employment team who can help them with from intake to job development to job coach on site, as well as to do the ongoing retention of checking in and making sure the employer and the person we support are satisfied in their job. So that program is funded by FedCap, which some of you would know. It's a new SSM for Halton region. So we offer a lot of services to the job seeker as well as the employer. Next, I'm going to talk about some of the day services. There's over 5 full day programs offered at Commuling Burlington. One is called the Mainway Day Program. It's designed for those who have higher support needs. So participants engage in fun, community activities or activities in-house. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio to 1-to-3 ratio for this program. This is usually a lot of the students graduating from the CPP program, like it's a wait list to get in. So I would say that this is where having Sierra in the among the schools, it's been so wonderful because she can help them get the families on the wait list early enough, so when they graduate, they have a spot. There's another program that runs out of Tansley Woods Community Center. It's another day program as well. We have one at Starter Right Day program, which runs out of Compass Point Bible Church on Kearns and Brand Street. So the Starter Right program is really neat. It's more for a little bit more independent students. So it would be it would be a 1-to-4 or 1-to-5 ratio support need. So they do a lot of activities and community participation. This is a very engaged and active group. We have a couple more programs that haven't listed here. It's the Rotary Youth Center. There's a day program that runs out of there for people with higher needs. And we also now have a seniors program called Center Perk that runs out of Rotary Youth Center. So we have all these day programs, and the truth is a lot of these programs are full, and it's been really kind of figuring out how can we open spots or help people get on the wait list early enough. So here is some information, like you could send your application to day services at commutingburlington.ca, or Sierra could connect and help you with the intake process to help get on the wait list. So to eliminate this wait list, we have launched something brand new, hot off the press, is this month. Just been 2 weeks in, we started something called the Hub. The Hub is a place where you will find short-term training programs, recreational activities. It's a way for people to connect, to learn, to inspire, to grow. And also there's no wait list. So because it's some of the programs this month, we were fortunate enough to offer it for free and some for a very low cost, just to pilot to see if there's a need. And it was funny because we only thought about this idea in August. We launched it in September, and all the spots are already full. So we realized there is a huge need for families to get involved and have their son or daughter participate and feel engaged. So I want to give you a taste of the September programming that we've offered so far. So this month, like last week, the cooking classes with Lisa Dickey. So the whole idea behind the Hub is to bring professionals and people who are passionate about what they do, and also enjoy working with people we support, kind of like a marriage, like bring them into our agency and have them run class, so people are learning from the experts. So Lisa Dickey is actually a retired special ed teacher who started her own cooking school in Toronto. She works with Community Living Toronto as well. So she offered to run classes at our Mainway location. And I do want to put a plug in. Our head office Mainway has been completely renovated, like half of it. We have a brand new community kitchen, which can host large cooking classes. It's wonderful. We have a whole new wellness center that's built to help with like yoga or fitness program. It's fully equipped. There's also a brand new a computer room. We just ordered a smart board. Like, we're trying to get the place up and running so we can create programming for people we support. There's also a beautiful new snoozling room that was created there, and you can book it. I will give you all that information, how to book all these places, so you can go and start like as of January, it's open for booking for the snoozling room as well. And we're trying to create a VR room for people we support. So this September we are running cooking classes. We noticed there is a huge need for education around scams and frauds. A lot of the people in our employment program have been involved in things. So we actually have the Halton Regional Police doing a presentation tomorrow, a workshop on how to keep yourself safe. We have Mastermind. It's a basic literacy program that's running. Few art classes, Sierra's cash handling course, and adaptive yoga. For the fall, we're actually looking at more partnerships. We're going to be partnering with Drama Way to create a theater program, as well as with TD Bank to create a Money Matters program. So it's just only going to grow and grow. So I will make sure you're included in the mails, so you're aware of all the programming that you can share with families. So if anybody's over 18, they can access these programs. Children's Inclusion Services is another area of our agency. So it helps from birth to junior kindergarten. We have the resource consultant who go in and help family navigate the resources and accommodate into the daycares or childcare settings. So it enhances child development participation and strengthen families' ability to promote healthy growth and community involvement. Obviously, it's a free and voluntary program for families. For the referral process, families or caregivers can refer by calling 311 or online Halton Regional website. So there's more information on this, and I can make sure that these slides are shared with everybody. Something also on the side is called the SIB Shop, a fun and supportive program for siblings of children with special needs. So this is something you can also refer if you have someone eligible for this, a free program offered for kids aged 7 to 14, a chance to connect with others who share similar experience. So the participants meet once a month, 6 to 8 p.m. They enjoy recreational activities like games and cooking together, creative arts, and just to support each other through the sibling workshops. Another thing that started, I'm not sure if this is renewed, but it's called Reverse Respite. Reverse Respite provides relief for families caring for children with intellectual or developmental disabilities, reducing crisis situations. So the support offered is in-home care up to $1,000 for 2 days or nights of support by a trusted worker. And the caregiver respite up to $300 for hotel accommodation. It's kind of giving the family a little bit of a relief while their son or daughter is cared for comfortably in their home by a trusted worker. So if someone's eligible for this, they can apply. It does say here it ends March 2025. So if you want more information, I can give you the contact information for our children's manager, inclusion manager, and she can give you what the new deadline is for the upcoming year. If you want to stay connected, here are some ways. And I'm going to stop sharing so I can take questions and see you guys. There you are. Okay. Hopefully, there you go. So there's a lot going on at Community Burlington, and we just want to make sure we can support you at the schools as well, and, with your families and the graduating class. So feel free if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Dailini. That was amazing to hear and learn about all of the collaboration that you have going on and the variety of programs. It's really impressive, and I'm so happy to learn more about it. We'll move into questions now. Melissa, please go ahead. Yeah, you're not unmuting for some reason. Laura, do you have control at all?
Let me see. No, I cannot unmute Melissa.
Is there a chat box there?
Yeah, maybe Melissa can put it in the chat.
I was just going to suggest that. Yeah, Melissa, if you wouldn't mind just,
Where to find the chat box, but maybe you can read it for me. Thank you.
yes. Oh, so we actually, I'll just let you know, we did get a message from Kaisa Klassen. She's one of our committee members, just saying, thank you so much. Wonderful presentation. Thank you for sharing all of the wonderful happenings. Oh, there we go. Melissa's question was about where individuals live? Is that the question, Melissa? I'm only seeing part of it. Is it a question about where do participants in various programs live? Or I feel like I'm getting it wrong. So for example, in order to qualify for your program, so if an individual lives in Oakville, could they access community living Burlington programming?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it's for because in September we kind of piloted. It was something we had to launch in a couple of weeks, so we did it in house. Like we shared with all the staff team and all the families in our mailing list, and like I said, it went so fast. So for October, I'll have the calendars done by next Friday, and I can share with you and anybody in Halton. People can use their passports funding to pay. The only thing is because we're bringing community leaders and professionals in to run these programs and classes and things like that, there's not really a support staff. So I would always say, if someone needs a support, they're welcome to bring their own support. So that's kind of that's how this is happening, and it's making it easy for us to create new programming. Yeah. So if you are interested, yeah, okay. Thanks, Melissa.
Go ahead, Colette.
Thank you. You have a lot of amazing things happening in your organization. I was making lots of connections to some of the work that we're doing, and I heard you talk about those connections a little bit over the course of your presentation. I believe Conan and Sierra are connected to meet outside of SEAC to do some planning, but would love to connect with the organization to collaborate more on what we're offering for our students. So wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Go ahead, Katie. Sorry, Katie, you're muted as well. I'm starting to think it's a hosting issue.
Oh my goodness, that was me. I was just talking no, that was user error. Sorry. Thank you. I love the presentation. I was looking forward to it from when it was slated at the end of our last SEAC season at the end of the school year. So thank you for that. Melissa actually brought up something that I hadn't even considered before is, are there also, Halton's a large region and obviously we represent all of it. Are there community living programs in Oakville and Georgetown and Halton Hills, Milton? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So there's community living Oakville, and there's community living North Halton. So I think they serve Georgetown, Halton. But the programs look very different.
Right.
And we're all managed differently, but yes, there is community livings. Yes.
So I guess for Melissa, I think Melissa actually lives in Oakville, and that's where I'm guessing she got the question from. Because there's such a wait list, there's never preference given to Burlington residents first over, okay.
It's whoever emails me first.
First come, first serve. Love it. My second question is, and maybe this is better for Colette or Conan. I know we do, there's a lot of volunteer hours required for secondary students. Yeah. Do we see ever a marriage between secondary student volunteer hours and these community support groups where they could use some of those hours for this, or maybe you could, have some a marriage of that kind of thing where you're recruiting from some of the students who might be interested in doing that? Because I know volunteers, I'm in this space, and having people who want to do this and who are passionate about it are not always easy to come by. So just something that I was wondering.
I would be very interested. currently oversee volunteers as well. So yeah, so we had actually like I remember Sierra bringing one student last term. She just needed a few extra hours, so she came to our office at Paletta. I'm like, here's all my files, please sort it out for me. So she was wonderful. So yes, but now that we have all these new programs running, so you're thinking, Katie, for any high school students or students in CPP program?
I mean, I don't care.
Oh, yeah,
Sure. Feeling, like I think it looks like you have such varied programming, and I think there's, absolutely potential for students to volunteer, depending on obviously the needs of the individuals in that program and what that might look like. And I don't know what that looks like, so Colette, I'm sure can speak to that. But it seems like it would be a great opportunity for some of our students in Halton.
definitely.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that suggestion, Katie. We've got two secondary people on the call, so I'm going to defer to them. But certainly, if it's not in existence in terms of having this in all of your organizations on the radar of our high schools, then we'll do that. But I don't know, Angela or Ryan, if you can provide some insight on the volunteer hours and how kids find their placements.
For sure. Typically, volunteer hours are coordinated by the students specifically, but guidance counselors can give a wide variety of places and opportunities for students to volunteer. So definitely, I put a note down in my book that I'll connect with you, Diane, and we'll take a look at what that might mean in terms of getting students connected with CLB for volunteer support. So thanks, Katie. Great suggestion.
Are there any other questions? Well, we have our presenter. I see there's been some comments in the chat, so thank you so much. Dailini, are you able to see the chat box as well? Okay.
I don't know what to click on. I'm
Yes,
so
no.
sorry. I'm like, I wish I practiced Google Meet before I came.
There are so many of these platforms, and it seems like once you've
I
mastered
just see raised hands like popping up. That's okay.
Microsoft Teams is my issue. I cannot use Teams.
Oh.
I fully understand. Go ahead, Kate.
Just that I posted in the chat that MMR, where one of the CPP programs is, has a buddies program for sort of regular pathway students to connect with the students in the CPP program and provide some social connection with those students. So some of in the CPP schools in particular, you're going to have more students who are familiar of what that looks like to interact with students with higher needs and possibly work with some of these social connection programs, and they are perhaps the most equipped and like knowledgeable to offer other kinds of volunteer services. So just something to keep in mind.
That's great. And if you see a need, also, like I want to give it back to you, is that if you notice like there's something that we can develop at Community Link Burlington, because we're open to ideas and to creating new programming. If you feel like there's a need, like if it's pre-employment or whatever it is that we can kind of work together, just like we did the cash handling and food handling certificate that students can already put on while they graduate. Feel free to share that with us or Sierra.
Go ahead, Katie.
Sorry, to add on to that. I know, obviously, as Kate was just saying, when you have visibility to these students, if you have a community pathways program in your school, then obviously you see the need for it. But obviously, we have students who have varying needs in a lot of mainstream schools as well. So one of the things that we actually did when I did my undergrad out east is they had I don't know, they were like fairs where you could like volunteer for things. And so it's like a visibility thing, and it's a program called Smile. And it's actually university students who spend a Saturday every other weekend, I believe, in like a public pool and help kids swim who would otherwise not have the opportunity. That's just an example. But I was just thinking, yeah, obviously within the board we have that, but you might have students who are transitioning to other levels of education who might be interested, who might be not restricted by the same kind of parameters of the the board in terms of their age and legality stuff, where they could continue. So maybe you could capture them within the Halton District School Board before they graduate and help with some of these older students. Anyway, just a thought, because I personally did that when I was doing my undergraduate out east. So anyway, just a thought. Thank you. I enjoyed the presentation a lot.
Great. So if I can share with Laura or somebody, then you have all the information. I'll give you the contact information for all the managers as well, like the day program, employment, the hub, things like that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. I have a feeling that we'll all go away thinking a little bit more about some of the programs that you shared with us this evening, and some other ideas might pop up. So definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing all of the work that you and your team do. It was great to hear more about what Sierra's doing at Community Living Burlington as well. We're so pleased to have her here on the committee, and so happy that you were able to join us this evening. Hope to see you again. And thank you for all the work that you do in the community for our students and all community members in Halton. It's very much appreciated. So thank you for joining us this evening, and for all committee members, if you have any thoughts or questions to follow up, please do connect with Laura, and all that information can be shared.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye.
You too. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. We'll move now to our next item, which is a staff presentation to share some information about the CPP co-op expansion. So I'm not sure who's taking the lead here, but I will turn it over to staff. Thanks so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Carol. Again, my name is Angela Sove, and I am the Vice Principal in Special Education Services. And I have with me this evening Ryan Candlish, and he is one of our amazing instructional program leaders within our department. And tonight we want to talk a little bit about some new work that we're doing in terms of expanding our co-op opportunities for students within the Community Pathways program. We always want to start by centering our work and our commitment to ongoing learning and change that really removes barriers and creates equitable access for students who have been traditionally underrepresented and marginalized. My dog would like to say hi as well, if you can hear him in the background. So we know that students with special education needs really deserve access to quality co-op opportunities that provide rich on-the-job training for gainful employment. I know last year in the spring, Stacey Farrell would have brought to you a presentation around visible values and what we are doing in our Community Pathways programs to really make visible our values and improve our practice with purpose. And so tonight's presentation and what we are continuing that work is really lands in these two areas of visible values around seeing our students grow and develop skills that will help them in their future, as well as providing rich experiential learning for them. So this work is a continuation of visible values. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Ryan.
Thanks, Angela. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here today. I mean, this is just a great connection to that presentation that Delaney just did. So I don't know if you guys did that on purpose or not, but what a great connection. And I actually met with her and her staff a couple weeks ago, and we have they have so much going on there and so much to support us. So they're such a great resource. So anyway, that was good timing. Yeah, so we just wanted to just kind of speak to centering our work and do a little bit of a reflection of where our the Community Pathways program kind of has been, and where we're taking it, and where we want to go, and hope to get some feedback and some input from you fine folks. So we wanted to start with the fantastic project search program that most of you probably know about, but I will do a bit of a recap of that and how it has already shaped our community skills certificate program that Angela was actually instrumental in creating, in the work with Project Search, learning from Project Search and implementing that into our community skills certificate program. And so that has helped to support, that profile of student within CPP. And now we're looking to really inform our employability skills certificate program and beyond. And really that's our students who are really hoping to get gainful employment when they graduate, obviously with great connections in our community as well. So if you want to flip to the next slide. And Project Search, established here in Halton in 2019. There are over almost 800 sites now. It's an international program. It is a fantastic program based out of, for Halton, out of Oakville-Trafalgar Hospital. And it's really designed to teach those students the work readiness skills who do have an intellectual and developmental disability. So in my role, I took over from Angela, all the great work that Angela has done. In my portfolio, I have the Community Pathways program and also Project Search. So they kind of lend itself well. The majority of our students that enter Project Search do come from the Community Pathways program. We typically have, 10 to 12 students in that program. And last year we had 19 applicants from across the board, which is fantastic. But, in that, we're seeing that there's a bit of an opportunity here for us to get other job opportunities, hopefully within our board. That's kind of what we're looking for. Project Search has so many great teaching tools that, as Angela said, we have used that to inform our community skills certificate. Now we're hoping to inform our ESC and beyond that, and even into our mainstream co-ops as well. I did actually recently talk with Delaney and her team about they have a modified version of the vocational fit that's alluded to there. And it's a great assessment tool for understanding where our students are and the placements that we can, they're best suited to. They use that in community living, and so we're all using the same materials, which is fantastic. Project Search just has that deep understanding of committing to the students and getting them, moving beyond the classroom and really getting them ready for, gainful employment. Just a little bit of data there for you. So we unfortunately don't have last year's data yet, but as you can see, we've had great success with our interns. Those numbers there that you see on the number of interns that graduate, Project Search isn't for everybody. So over the course of the year, we do have 1 or 2 students that might return to their home school because the Project Search is not a fit. So that's why you don't see the full 10 to 12 students there. But for those interns that it is a good fit for and do go on to graduate, you can see the percentage of employment is fantastic. So that is based on them getting gainful employment of at least 20 hours upon graduation, up to 8 months after. That's when we collect that data. So this is really what we're trying to infuse into our ESC classes in our 7 CPP sites across the board. We're looking to offer and build up our program and ensure that they have these opportunities within our school board, because I think that we do have lots to offer, and we'll touch a little bit more later on there. Yeah, I think I touched on that slide. Yeah, that was just kind of to elude that gap. And what we're looking for is working with our partners within the board. We're working with different facilities to see what we can offer to ensure that we have that we have enough programs and enough job opportunities for our students. Because what our sites are finding is that there are not enough connections to our community. So it's not enough co-op opportunities for our students. And we thought, what better way than to look within and see if we can find some of those opportunities within the Halton District School Board.
Thanks, Ryan. Before we jump into what we're doing in Halton for opportunities, I thought it would be a really good opportunity to look at how over the course of 10 years, we have been improving our programming. So in 2015, that was the first time our employability skills certificate was developed. And then in 2019, Project Search has come into play. In 20 and 21. We had a team of people writing that community skills co-op that has really driven our programming in the programs. For students who require a little bit more support and who don't have the job readiness skills yet to go out into the community for a co-op placement, traditionally speaking. Last year, there began a conversation around offering opportunities within our organization, recognizing that we are such a big system and there's so much opportunity that we were not capitalizing on within our buildings. So a discussion began last year, and with the director's support and senior admin, there's a real commitment to offering co-op placements within our buildings. And so the conversation began last year. Over the summer, Ryan and a team revised the Employability Skills Certificate, 10 years of tech improvements, and that program needed a little bit of an upgrade. So they did that over the summer, and I'll let him talk about that in a minute. But really what we want to talk about and focus on this evening is what we're doing this year to get those co-op placements up and running in our buildings, using the departments we have, and then begin placing our own Community Pathways Program students from around the board in placements within our buildings. So what does the next improvement chapter look like? So Ryan, do you want to talk a little bit about what you did in summer writing?
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I think you did summarize it there, and I won't go into too much depth, but yes, it was a few years in the. And actually, what happened was we were getting ready to make a presentation to Mr. Ennis, and we did a bit of a deep dive and thought, I don't think this is really up to snuff. So anyway, so we thought we'd update it this summer, and we put in an application to update it, and we did, and we had a great group of CPP teachers, a couple of our communication center assistants join us, and really, and lots of it was, you know, it's a fantastic program, and the work that went into the original one was so in depth, and it was amazing. And had great resources. So we didn't really have to update too many of those resources, but certainly there was some, you know, those links that didn't work. That some of the training resources weren't working. So we had to do some digging. We connected with Community Living Burlington. We connected with Project Search to kind of make sure we were all aligned, because there's no point in, you know, kind of reinventing the wheel. There's already some great work out there. So updating, you know, the visual appeal of it. Getting it working online so people can easily access it, our teachers can easily access it, and aligning with Project Search and Community Living, just to make it more user-friendly.
So this semester, we are really focusing on putting together a wealth of resources within our board. So right now we're in conversations with a wide variety of departments about what they can offer for our students, placements within our board, jobs that they can go to, rich experiential learning opportunities in our buildings. So library services and facilities, planning, print services, and shipping and receiving. And these are just the ones we're starting with right now. So as we speak, there's a resource bank starting of contacts and how many days a week can the students work in these placements. And we're just gathering initial data of what that might look like so that we can take that back to our sites and start planning effectively for that, which is pretty exciting. We're hoping to offer our HDSB co-op sites for students who maybe have demonstrated those readiness skills and would be ready to go out into the community for gainful employment. They just need some more experiential learning, on-the-job training. They have those readiness skills. They'll be able to do the jobs with a little bit of support and mentoring. Also, for all of the students who applied to Project Search but maybe didn't quite make it or didn't have the opportunity due to whether it's cap size or travel and distance, there's lots of barriers for people accessing that particular program. And so how can we make our own HDSB programs serve those students as well? I know there are lots of families looking for work experiences closer to home. And so with the many, many sites we have here at HDSB offering co-op opportunities within their local community is really going to serve our families much better. This semester, what we're really focusing on is, like Ryan talked a little bit about, that Voc Fit assessment. So we need to review that and we need to roll that out to our Community Pathways sites so that they are prepping students with the right skills, so that they are looking for and assessing those right skills, that they're teaching those skills, that they're practicing those skills. So that's one of our first steps that we're looking at doing. And then we want to establish this resource bank of co-op contacts and just get connected with those people, with the idea that we would spend some time with departments and folks who are willing to mentor a student from the Community Pathways program on the job training, that they would have some mentoring, that we would give them some general SPED knowledge around what it is to work with individuals with developmental disabilities and how we can and should modify our work and the teaching of those skills for neurodiverse individuals. So that's our goal this semester. Second semester, we're really hopeful that we can get all that done in a few short weeks. I don't know. We were at a family of schools meeting, and the director saying we have 183 days left, and that just seemed insane to me. So we have a short amount of time, and we're planning to do a lot of work with the goal of second semester having our students in those places. That's the goal. And then we would monitor that progress and support those job placements, whether it be the mentee, the department, or the individual within those placements. And hopefully this will catch fire like it did at OTMH, where departments were excited to participate in Project Search and offer their departments for work experience. So really hoping that that happens with this experience too, that there would be an expansion of those placements over time as people experience the amazing work that our neurodiverse population brings to any employer. And then this one I'll let you speak to, Ryan. How about this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So to be honest with you, I didn't get as much information about the Halton Industry Education Council as I had hoped to, but we do have a partnership between the HDSB and the HIAC to support external co-ops. We are in contact with Lisa Gallet from the school program side, and she's going to get us some more information as to what, currently what that looks like and how that support can move to CPP, or how it can additionally support CPP. Unfortunately, we weren't able to contact before this meeting, but she's eager to help us out and to see how she can support. And then the other thing that we're doing when in supporting Lisa Gallet and the school programs is also, we had some in-depth conversations about, some of our students in, credit-bearing co-ops and our special education students in credit-bearing co-ops, and how there was some challenges that Lisa had to support some schools last year. So, in collaboration with our team and with Lisa, we're going to put together some training to go in and support some co-op teachers and just kind of give them a SPED 101 and how and just some topics to look for in supporting those students, but from both the education side and the employer side as well.
Thank you, Ryan. And with that, I think it's really important to gather your input. So if there are opportunities for you to provide input into what we're doing or areas that we haven't thought of, we would love to have your voice on how we are preparing our students with that experiential learning and expanding our co-op programs. So if there's any questions, comments, ways you could think we could improve or move forward, this is an opportunity for SEAC to have input here. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Angela and Ryan. That was fantastic. It's always amazing to me the way that staff sort of think outside the box and come up with these new innovative ideas that, when you present them, seem really obvious but hadn't been thought of before. We always think about the school board is for students, and students are the center of everything. But the Halton District School Board is actually a huge employer in this region. So it seems like a fantastic idea. I've been fortunate since I started my term to be invited to the Project Search graduations and learn more about the program, and it really is fantastic. Angela, it's interesting that you mentioned the opportunities on the employer side. I've always been struck at the graduation ceremonies how excited the staff at the hospital are to participate in the program and how supportive they are of the students, and they feel many of them said to me that they feel fortunate to have had the opportunity to work with students. And so, it's obviously a benefit to students, and that's what it's designed around. But for the employer and for staff, it's also a great opportunity as well. So I will open it up to questions after I take that time to make my comment. I'm always excited about these new programs. So if anyone has any questions or comments on what we've heard, please go ahead and raise your hand. I just have a quick question, I guess, for all staff, and that might include Colette as well, in terms of how will this program be rolled out so that parents are aware of it? I'm assuming that that's part of the process, is to ensure that parents of the students in CPP program, are aware that this is being developed in this new opportunity. How does that get rolled out?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, if you don't mind, Ryan and Angela, I'll defer to you in terms of how are students selected for specific co-op placements or project search, because it's a little bit more niche than a call out to all families, I would think. So, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think whenever we're looking at, if we look at the traditional co-op model, we have students in class and there's a period of learning at the beginning. And then we would look for the opportunities we have and then the student fit. So what skills do they demonstrate? We get student voice. What do you like doing? What would you be happy to go to? What's within your community? So it's a nuanced process of looking at the fit for students. Obviously, parents would be considered in that. They're not given a bank of what we have, but more saying, we believe as the educators that these 2 or 3 co-ops might fit your child. And then we would give information to parents at that point. Just like a traditional co-op, the students would come home and say, hey, there's this great opportunity, and then they would have input at that point. I don't think it would be a thing where we roll out a whole list of all the opportunities and ask parents where they would prefer their students to be, but rather the other way. We would look at the fit for the individual and make parents aware and be a part of that conversation at that point.
Fantastic, thank you. I can imagine that parents would find that sort of a bit overwhelming that this program exists, and so that that idea of matching students to the appropriate opportunities, that sounds fantastic. Thank you. So I'm not seeing any hands raised, so no questions at this time. But again, I think what happens at SEAC is we sort of go away and think about all the amazing things we've heard about, and then sometimes come back with questions. So I invite all committee members next meeting, if there's something that you've thought of or anything in the interim, please reach out through Laura, and I know staff are always happy to talk about the programming and answer questions. So Angela and Ryan, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It was great to see you, and as always, thank you for the work that you do on behalf of students. It's very meaningful, and I feel grateful to be able to hear more about it as things develop. Thank you. So we're going to move on now to the next part of our agenda, which is communications to SEAC. And so as always, we'll start with our superintendent's report. So I'll invite Colette to jump on.
Absolutely. We're only in week 3, so it's not a lengthy report, but it's certainly been an amazing startup for the 25-26 school year, which amazes me that we're there at 25-26, but yes, by all accounts, it's been really smooth. The students are really settling in nicely to their new classes and their new routines, and the staff too. So we are entering into what we call reorganization time in elementary schools. And this is where schools and human resources really review in detail the class sizes in every elementary school, and reorganize the school to add or take away a class if those classes are not meeting the ministry mandated class sizes. So that process is underway, and sometimes it's good news in receiving a class, and other times it does mean a reduction. In either case, it's certainly a time where students are shifting and resettling. So our settle-in period gets a little stretched in some cases, but we don't have any special education classes that are reorganizing at this time. And the last thing that I'm going to speak about before I ask Conan to jump in is the 26-27 budget process. So yes, even in week 3, we're starting to talk about next year's budget. You might recall that Superintendent Nagoy highlighted the budget challenges in June when she presented to all of you. And so we are tasked, SEAC and the senior team, to really begin this process early with the goal of eliminating our structural deficit by next school year. So we've asked Superintendent Ngoy to come to our October meeting so that she can share with you the kind of state of the pressures and the timelines, and start to get us thinking about the work ahead for this group. And then at subsequent meetings, starting in November, we'll engage in discussions around potential efficiencies. So I know it's early and we're just starting this school year, but we want to make sure that we are giving this the due time and process that's needed. So that's why we're starting so early. And I'm going to turn it over to Conan to talk about the last thing.
Yeah, just wanted to let everyone know, sharing a message from our school programs department. So coming up in September and into October, there will be cross-country meets, and they will be hosting an inclusive cross-country events for our students. And the purpose of that is just to offer sort of personalized modifications for all the athletes, so we can have all students participate in meaningful ways. And, you know, just looking at events where they can participate in the cross-country running, looking at things like modified start lines, courses with mobility devices, flexible race times, racing with buddies and guides. So school programs is really hoping to have a couple of great days through September and October at Sherway Park for many of our students. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Colette and Conan. We will move now to the association reports. If there are any associations in attendance that wanted to highlight anything for SEAC, this would be a great time. Please just raise your hand or jump in. Go ahead, Kate.
So this is not specifically an association report, but I wanted to have a kudos that I had reported to this group over the last couple of years, the really difficult transition that we had bringing my daughter into the clustered program from out of board, and how challenging it was, and how it took quite some time to sort of sort out all of her particular needs and get her properly registered and involved in everything. And I've now gone through it with my son, and I want to say what a humongous difference I saw. The involvement of the special education team happened basically as soon as he was registered. He got looped into all of the things that grade 8s in board would have been able to access, including meeting with CERT, having the opportunity to have the one-on-one days, everything that other grade 8s would have had access to ensure a good transition. He got to participate in those things, and it was such an incredible difference and such a smoother transition for our family. I wanted to just say thank you, and that it was fantastic to witness that improvement over 4 years and great to see. So thank you.
Thanks so much for that, Kate. That's great to hear. I know I'm also a parent in the board, and I see how processes are continuously improving, and staff are always finding new ways to service students, and students are always the center of everything in the way that staff design programming, and it's great to hear that you've seen the impact of that. Thanks so much. Colette, go ahead.
Thank you, Kate, for sharing that, and it's so wonderful to hear that your son is settling in nicely. I do want to give credit where credit is due, and this was really the work of all of the central departments, school programs, the equity, human rights team, the Indigenous rights team, special education. We really have focused in the last few years on improving those transition pieces from grade 8 to 9. And have quite frankly invested quite deeply in retraining our staff in effective practices. So it's really wonderful to hear that you're seeing a real change.
Go ahead, Yelena.
Hi, thanks. I just wanted to let the group know that our CDL program catalog for 2025-26 is out, and I'll be sending a copy over to everyone through Laura. One of the things that I mentioned last year was I think I highlighted our homework health, which was a free drop-in program to help kids with, extra help with homework, tutoring, and any kind of mental health support that they need, specifically tailored for our neurodiverse teens in grade 9 to 12 who are in the Halton Hamilton area. And one of the things I wanted to mention, last year there were 2 locations, and again 2 nights a week, different nights, but 2 in Oakville at White Oaks and Glen Abbey. But great news for this year is we do have a location in Burlington, and so on Mondays from 3:30 to 5 at Reach Out Center for Kids, there'll be that opportunity for Burlington kids to access that program if that is something that they need. So yeah, I just wanted to bring everyone up to date on that, and I'll be sending that information over. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Don't see any other hands raised, so we'll move on to the trustees report. Oh, sorry, Kaisa, any word on a location for the CDL program in the north? And I think that's for you.
No, for this kind of, for the homework help, it's just these are the only locations available. We do have one in Hamilton, but nothing north. So actually it would be Glen Abbey, I guess, would be the most north, but and then White Oaks is the other one. So yeah, unfortunately we don't have one specifically serving the north, but what I can go back to CDL and see if there's something in development. So we can certainly, I can bring that back.
Thank you so much. So I'll ask Trustee Zhang to speak to us this evening on the trustees report, please. Go ahead, Trustee Zhang.
Hi, thank you. Today I have several things to update. The first is about the PIC conference. HDSB had a Parent Involvement Committee conference early this year. Because of the conference schedule change starting this year, we will have the second PIC conference in November, the same location in LC McGill in Milton. HDSB will provide transportation from each city of Halton region. Emails about the conference registration, lunch selection, and the bus locations will be sent to all HDSB families. We wish all the parents enjoyed the workshops, and your feedbacks are very welcome and after the conference. And the second one, as I know, some parents are planning an out of area transfer. It is also called, before it's called optional attendance. Not all schools are open for this transfer. So if the parents are planning for the out of area transfer, please contact the schools to check if the schools are open for the next school year. And for the elementary school and the secondary school, the application and application deadlines, application procedures are different. And so just please check with the schools. And the third one is about a news from the Halton Public Health. Nurses from Halton Public Health will visit each school between October 6th and January 19th for vaccination at the clinics. So these are the grade 7 and grade 8 students. Parents should already receive an email notification about a required consent form. Since there will be no second clinic in the spring, if the students cannot make it, please call 311 for Halton Public Health to get more information. And we also have the HDSB events on Wednesday, September 24th, from 7 to 8 p.m. Halton District School Board will host a live stream session for grade 8 families interested in learning more about the grade 8 to grade 9 transition process. questions can be submitted in advance or during the session. Live stream can be found on YouTube HDSB channel. The HDSB also hosting a board-wide interactive secondary school open house on Saturday, September 27th. It will take place at Kilberger Secondary School in Milton. The event will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The event is designed to help students in grade 8 to grade 10 and their families explore the full range of opportunities available across our secondary schools, including programs and pathways, academics, and athletics, clubs, and community and support and student life. So, okay, that's all my report for today. Any questions?
Are there any questions for Trustee Tang? Please go ahead and raise your hand. I don't see any, so we will move on to committee reports. We have representatives on 2 board committees, Accessibility and Coordinating Committee and the Mental Health and Wellbeing Strategy Steering and Advisory Committee. I'm going to presume that neither have had meetings yet this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Katie and Kate. If not, we will look forward to hearing more at our next meeting. So we're now at item 5.0, which is our next agenda and order paper. So this is an opportunity for any committee members who have any suggestions or requests for items for upcoming meeting agendas. So please feel free to raise your hand if there's anything you'd like to recommend or ask for. As always, reach out to Laura anytime if you think of something. I did want to mention, just to follow up on Colette's announcement earlier, that we will be looking at, as a board, looking at the budget for next year a little bit earlier than usual. And part of that is that staff are looking for input from SEAC. So we had talked last year about trying to have at least one in-person meeting during the school year, and I believe the discussion had been around October, so our next meeting. But given that we will have Superintendent Roxana Ngoy joining us next meeting for the October meeting to share some information and speak to the budget planning process, we're wondering if perhaps the in-person meeting could be in November. I believe you would have seen an email from Laura asking for feedback and input as to whether that would work for committee members. So please, when you have a moment, respond to that. I think there was a form. If you could go in, just open that form and indicate whether or not you would be available to attend in person in November. That's the direction we're thinking about going. So again, being fairly virtual or completely virtual for the next meeting, but then trying to gather in person at the board office like we did a few months ago in November, if possible, because the idea is that once we've received that information from Superintendent Ngoy around the planning for budget, that we'd have a month to sort of think on it, to go back to your associations, get some feedback, and then be prepared to come to SEAC in November and share any thoughts, questions in probably in breakout rooms. We found that was quite effective the last time we met in person. So please feel free to comment on that idea, but that's the direction that we're thinking we'll go. And then on that theme, given that staff are, this is a bit of an impactful year, it's starting to look like, in terms of having to make some decisions around budget and programming. Staff are looking for feedback from SEAC, and so it's really important that all of our community associations are able to participate and provide that feedback. It's good for our students, especially our students with exceptionalities, who receive services from some of the community associations, and obviously anyone on the committee who has children in our schools with exceptionalities who can provide some perspective and feedback to staff. That's incredibly valuable for all students. So if you are attending, or if you're on the committee as an association and you're not sure about your ability to attend the meetings this year, I just ask that you look at trying to find an alternative. I know that some of our associations do have a primary and secondary member who attend, and sometimes we get two from one association, which is awesome. But yes, Laura, I think we'll be sending out a message to reiterate this, but we'd really be super appreciative if every association can have at least one representative attend all of the meetings this school year. And if there are any barriers or any kind of issues with attendance, please feel free to reach out, and we'll work through that, because it really is so valuable for staff and for all students to have that input and that collaborative discussion process through SEAC. So we appreciate your time and your willingness to serve on SEAC, and look forward to some great conversations this coming year. So I think we have exhausted our agenda for this evening. So if there's no other questions or comments for tonight, I will remind everyone that we will have our next meeting on October 15th at the usual time, 7 p.m. Everyone is always welcome to attend in person and be in the board office with Colette and I at any time. But as I mentioned, for October, virtual attendance is absolutely fine. But if you can please make a notation in your calendar for the November meeting to try to be in person. We will bring in some food and have some great discussions as we did the last time. So thank you so much to everyone for attending. Have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing you in October. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.